that the more and more you get to know who a person is and you know what they bring to the table, and you don't judge. I think the one thing about CC and her career is that people have already been judging her, and she's just really getting started. And so my job is to not be that person. If I could pour in different ways, and like I said, I always fill in the gaps for her because of what she does and how she does it, and the eyes and ears of all the people. It's like it's the only thing that I could do is kind of fill in the gaps and kind of just be a good presence for her.
That right there is the sound of a huge media story falling apart in real time. Welcome back to Basley, because it turns out the truth behind the scenes with the Indiana Fever is very different from what the internet has been trying to make you believe.
I think it was always like that. I just think that as you kind of like have experiences with each other, you sit on a plane together and you walk on a bus together and you walk in a hotel together, and those interactions are, that they're stepping stones, and you build and you constantly connect. And I think that connection.
For the past few months, the sports world has been pushing one strong idea, that the veteran players in Indiana secretly resented Caitlin Clark because of all the attention she brought to the team. Many viral posts, articles, and commentators suggested that Clark's popularity had created jealousy and division inside the locker room. It may make a good story for a TV show, but it does not match how professional basketball teams actually work. The connection Kelsey Mitchell is talking about was not created in front of TV cameras. It was built during the many hours that fans never see. It happened in film sessions, while waiting for delayed flights, and during quiet moments after difficult road losses. While the public was studying every missed high five or frustrated expression, the players were quietly building a strong relationship based on understanding and support. When teammates spend so much time together during difficult moments, outside rumors start to mean very little. Mitchell understood early that Clark was not only learning how to play professional basketball. She was also carrying enormous expectations because of the attention and money surrounding her arrival. Millions of people who had never watched women's professional basketball were suddenly judging everything she did. As a veteran leader, Mitchell made a clear choice. Instead of adding more pressure to Clark, she decided to support her and help take some of that pressure away. That level of humility is even more impressive when you look at Kelsey Mitchell's career. She was drafted second overall in 2018 and spent years dealing with losing seasons in Indiana. She continued putting up all-star level numbers while the franchise was still trying to find its identity. For years, she often played in arenas that were not full and received very little national attention. Then everything changed almost overnight. The arena started selling out, TV ratings reached record levels, and the entire media world began focusing on the team. It would have been understandable if Mitchell felt a little frustrated that so much attention was suddenly going to the rookie. But she chose a completely different path. Instead of fighting for the spotlight, she welcomed Caitlin Clark and supported her. Mitchell understood that the Caitlin Clark effect was not something she needed to compete with. It could help the entire team. She also understood that because defenders had to focus so much attention on Clark, more driving lanes and open shooting opportunities would become available for her. By putting her ego aside, Mitchell did more than help a rookie adjust to the WNBA. She also helped unlock the best version of her own game. She chose teamwork over pride. We are now seeing the clear results of that partnership. Every time they step onto the court, this is not just a feel-good story. We are seeing the growth of one of the most dangerous backcourts in the league. Back in May, you could see that Clark and Mitchell were still trying to figure things out. The spacing was not great, their timing on pick-and-rolls was slightly off, and they sometimes got in each other's way while trying to decide who should lead the offense. But now, their chemistry looks much more dangerous. Mitchell is running off screens at exactly the right time, Clark knows where she will be, and both players understand when to play faster and when to slow the game down. This kind of smooth and high-energy basketball cannot be faked. It would be very difficult to play this well if there were serious problems between the players. Their strong execution shows that their relationship is real. They are constantly looking for ways to create good shots for each other. But the bigger story comes next, when we look at who the home crowd turned against and how this young team reacted when the controversy moved away from the players and directly toward the coaching staff.
In addition to talking about Caitlin, Kelsey was also asked about Stephanie White. Now, we remember that Stephanie was booed before the last game against the New York Liberty. And we remember that after the game, Sophie Cunningham first said, look, don't even get this thing twisted. Our locker room is good. Stephanie White and I are good. Like, chill with all that. And let's
This is where the story takes a darker turn and shows the reality of modern sports fandom. The Indiana Fever are playing the New York Liberty, one of the strongest teams in the league. The Liberty are a veteran super team built to win a championship, while the Fever are one of the youngest teams in the league and are still learning their defensive system and finding their identity on offense. On paper, it is a huge mismatch. But before the game even starts, the home crowd begins booing its own head coach during the pre-game introductions. This is one of the negative effects of the Fever's sudden popularity. Millions of new fans brought incredible energy and attention, but they also brought extremely high expectations. Some fans became convinced that the coaching staff was holding the players back, so they used their presence in the arena to make their feelings known. For a young team, this creates a very difficult environment. The players already have to deal with stars like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and now they also have to handle the pressure of their own fans turning against their coach.
Was asked about it, and she expressed herself. I did a video about this just a couple days ago, and she did say, listen, that's my head coach. I'm riding with my head coach. I love my head coach, and I know that there are people out there who are going to tell you that's not true. They don't know what they're talking about. Caitlin knows what she's talking about. And she also said it made her sick to hear the boos because Stephanie doesn't deserve that. Well,
at that exact moment, Caitlin Clark had an easy chance to avoid the controversy. The media had given her a major story, and all she needed to do was give a safe public relations answer. She could have simply said that she was focused on the game or that fans were free to have their opinions, and nobody would have blamed her. Instead, she strongly supported her coach and said that hearing the boos made her sick. That completely changed the situation. It was a powerful leadership moment from a player who was still very early in her professional career. By taking a clear stand, Clark made the fans who were attacking the coach think about their actions. Her message was basically simple: if you attack the coach, you are also attacking me and the team we are trying to build. Clark's support was the first spark, but what happened next showed that the veteran players were also ready to stand together and defend their team. Don't play that. That is exactly what you want to hear from a veteran leader. Kelsey Mitchell was not just a little annoyed. She was genuinely hurt by what happened. Fans in the upper seats or people angrily posting on social media only see the 40 minutes of the game. They see missed defensive plays, late timeouts, and the final score on the screen. What they do not see are the many hours of work behind the scenes. They do not see the coach staying up late studying game film, running difficult shooting drills, or talking to a struggling player privately to help rebuild their confidence after a bad game. The relationship between a coach and a professional player can be very close and important. When fans publicly attack a coach in the team's own arena, they may think they are standing up for the players. But from the player's point of view, they are attacking someone who is part of their team family. Mitchell's honest and emotional reaction shows the huge difference between what people online think is happening and what is really happening inside the team. She made it clear that the locker room is a united group, and the veteran players will not accept disrespect from the outside. Hear the word culture all the time in sports. Every general manager talks about it when they are introduced, and every team says they have a strong culture. But culture is easy to talk about when you are winning by 20 points and everyone is happy. Real culture is tested during difficult times. It is tested when a team is on a losing streak, when the media is attacking them, and when their own fans turn against the coaching staff. In those moments, a weak team can quickly fall apart. Players may start blaming each other, sharing complaints with reporters, or focusing only on their own stats. But the Indiana Fever did the opposite. They stayed together and used all the negativity around them as a reason to become even more united. This was no longer just another regular season game. It became a test of who they were as a team. They made a clear decision not to let outside noise control what happened inside their locker room. This is how championship teams are built, not just through amazing plays, but by a group of players facing a crisis and choosing to handle it together.
Kelsey just told us about her real human connection with Caitlin, and we hear it from the rest of the team that they have with one another. And here, yeah, I'm gonna ride with my coach and I'll make sure she knows. I told her before the game, we got you. We're doing this for you. And Caitlin told us the same thing. There's no way, she said, we were going to lose that New York Liberty game. That's what Caitlin told us. And then they went about and they took care of business. They played with a certain fire. Yes, the New York Liberty, and it's hard not to get up for the New York Liberty, but it was all the other stuff. And they're like, no, we are one unit. We are together. And
That unity showed up directly on the court. When the Fever finally played the New York Liberty, they did not look like a young or scared team. They played with incredible energy and intensity. They fought for loose balls, battled through tough screens, and played with a clear edge. Clark had already said there was no chance they were going to lose that game, and they backed up her words. They did not just beat a strong Liberty team. They sent a clear message to the entire league and their own fans. They showed that when they are under serious pressure, they do not fall apart. They become even stronger. That win was worth much more than a normal regular season victory. It was the moment the team realized what they could achieve if they stopped listening to their critics and started trusting each other. It gave them a level of confidence and toughness that cannot be created in a practice facility. But if anyone still thought the message was unclear, the reigning Rookie of the Year was about to make it even more obvious. Boston completes the group. Now you have the three most important players of the franchise, Clark, Mitchell, and Boston, standing side by side and sending the same message to everyone. When Boston calls the fans' behavior annoying and disrespectful, she removes all the polite PR language and makes her position very clear. The core players of the Fever are telling the toxic parts of the fan base to stop or get out of the way. That is a remarkable sign of maturity for such a young team. Normally, it takes years of tough playoff losses for a team to build this kind of strong bond. The Fever have built it in just a few difficult months. They understand that media stories and fan arguments are completely separate from what happens on the basketball court. They show up, follow the game plan, and protect each other. That is it. The fact that they are willing to say this publicly and challenge the loudest opinions shows how much confidence they have in their locker room. They are not afraid of the backlash because they believe their foundation is strong.
A lot of people don't like it because they want players to be robots who only say what they want them to say. And then when they don't say what they want them to say, then the players are just lying, or they're shills, or they're being forced to, or that, all the stuff to keep the narratives going for some of them so they can continue to get paid. And
this whole situation shows how modern sports coverage often works through a rage bait system. Social media algorithms reward anger, arguments, and crazy theories because they get more attention. Content creators, anonymous accounts, and even some mainstream analysts know that calm and positive stories about a team do not get as many views as a fake crisis. So, they keep pushing stories that the coach is bad, the teammates are fighting, or the star player is trapped in a terrible organization. These stories create millions of clicks, thousands of angry comments, and hours of podcast discussions. Fans then see all this negativity online and bring that anger into the arena. But the players understand what is happening. They see the same posts and hear the same opinions. Instead of allowing that online anger to affect them, they are choosing to ignore it. They refuse to follow the dramatic story that the internet has created for them. For a young team, realizing that online noise is not the same as reality is a huge advantage. They understand that much of this drama is simply a business model designed to make money from their stress. At the end of the day, doing the right thing and staying true to your values will not always make you popular online. Defending a coach who is facing a huge amount of online hate may be a bad move if all you care about is social media numbers. But the Indiana Fever are not focused on going viral for the wrong reasons. They are focused on winning games and building a team that can stay successful for many years. The Fever have shown that outside pressure cannot easily break them. Now, as they move toward the playoffs, the big question is whether this strong unity will help them make a deep playoff run, or whether the constant pressure from outside will eventually create problems inside the team. Let me know in the comments how far you think the Fever can go. And make sure you subscribe for the next breakdown right here on Basley.